Hey there, it's Walt. So today I want to talk with you about sin. That's right. Today I want to talk with you about sin. And there's a lot of information here that's important to understand about sin. And there's one sin in particular that I want to encourage you to avoid at all costs. So I was raised as the oldest son of an Irish Catholic mother, and as you might imagine, we were deeply steeped in sin and all of the permutations and possibilities of sin, and how you should avoid sin and how you should keep track of sin. It was very important to keep track of it because there was this thing called confession, and you needed to go once a week and confess your list of sins. So you needed to keep track of the sin, and you need to keep track of the categories of sin. This was important as well. So there are two big categories that I want to start with. There's mortal sin, and then there's venial sin. So let's start with mortal sin. Mortal sin is really, really, really bad. That's the type of sin that's going to get you sent to hell really, really quickly. You want to avoid mortal sin. You don't want to do it. So what's a mortal sin? So let me give you an example of a mortal sin. Mortal sin could be coveting something. Yes, coveting is bad. It's part of the 10 Commandments. So you want to avoid coveting. Like, we have a lovely neighbor. He's got a beautiful donkey. Really like his donkey. But I shouldn't covet his donkey. In fact, I don't. Don't get any wrong ideas. I don't covet his donkey. But I really like his donkey. But if I coveted his donkey, that would be a mortal sin. It would be something I shouldn't do. It would be something that could end me up in the fires of hell. So no coveting. So something like one of the 7 deadly sins, like envy and greed and avarice, those are bad. Those could end you up in a bad place. Whereas venial sins, let's come back to the donkey. I like my neighbor's donkey, but let's just assume for a moment that my neighbor's donkey comes into my yard and puts donkey poop on my yard, and I get really, really angry, and I yell over the hedgerow at my neighbor, and I call him an ass for allowing his donkey to poop in my yard. Now that wouldn't be nice, but it wouldn't fall in the category, if you're following me, of mortal sins. It'd be more like it wasn't nice, and so it would be a venial sin. So we got mortal sin, stuff that ends you up in the fiery hells. We got the venial sin that's bad. You got to get on the list, but it's not going to by itself, it's not going to end you up in that bad place. And then we have 2 other big categories of sin to be aware of. We've got the sins of commission and the sins of omission. So let's come back to my neighbor's his donkey, and we'll talk about the situation where my neighbor might ask me to watch his donkey while he goes away on holiday. And I say, sure, I'm going to watch your donkey because I like your donkey. Don't covet your donkey, but I like your donkey. And so I agree that I'm going to watch his donkey. But while he's gone, I actually have coveted his donkey for so long that I decide to take it and to sell it in order to get some money. Now I'm in big doo-doo because I've not only coveted his donkey, but I've acted on the covetous nature of my inner feelings, and I've taken his donkey and I've sold it, so I've also stolen his donkey. You got me there. Okay, so now that's a sin of commission. I've done something bad. Done it. Done it. The sin of omission is not doing something. So we'll come back to the neighbor and the donkey, and the neighbor's asked me to watch his ass while he's gone. And one night I fall asleep early, and I've left the gate to the donkey pen open, and the donkey disappears. Now that's bad. I told the donkey, let's not get into what I tell the donkey, but I told my neighbor that I would watch his donkey, and I was negligent. I fell asleep on the job. The donkey got away, and now we can't find the donkey. That's bad. But it's a sin of omission. I didn't set out to do that. Now, here's the scoop. I've given you some fairly serious things to think about around sin, but it's this last category that I want to focus on. This category of omission, these sins of omission, the sins of not doing things, because it's the not doing things that end up haunting us for a long, long time. many times we have these hopes and these dreams and these aspirations, the things that we deeply want to do. And we're aware that our lives are short and precious and fleeting. And yet we don't answer the call. Maybe it's, we want to run a race or climb a mountain or write a book or make some beautiful art, or maybe it's travel and adventure or playing an amazing golf course, or maybe it's going out and creating some type of retreat program or launching some new business. And we put that off. We don't do it. And time goes by. And at the end of our lives, it's going to be those things that we didn't do that will haunt us as much as the things that we might have done. And so I want to encourage you that if you're feeling the call, if you're feeling the Spirit draw you towards something that you want to do, listen to it. If the last 18 months have taught us anything, is how fleeting it all is, how fast it all changes. If you're hearing the call to do something different, to change up your work, to change up your life, to do some adventure, to undertake some project, listen to that call. It's the call of the Spirit within you. It's the call of that deepest place within your heart that is you. Listen to that, because as I said, when all is said and done, it's the things we didn't do that will haunt us, those sins of omission. Regret is a horrible, horrible sin to suffer with. So, no regrets. Lean into those things that light you up, that draw you. Make it a great rest of the day, great rest of the week. Talk soon.